What is up, you guys? So today we're going to be doing the best and worst of 2021. Let's get started. Starting off with the Hermes Bastia. This was a very surprising little piece for me in 2021. I had been wanting it for many years, and so I was floored. I genuinely think that part of the reason why I liked it so much was the goat skin. This is such a beautiful material. What's the other material? I can't even think about it right now. But that like stiffer material, just did not realizing that this was goat skin. And once I had already made the purchase, I went back to look and I was like, oh, it's goat skin. I thought that it was the hardier material, but this ended up being perfect. I really love that it's stretchy, and I think that for like smaller pieces, this material would be really good. I love my Bastia, and it was one of my best purchases for 2021. The next item on my best is my Louis Vuitton agenda. I am completely obsessed with this agenda. I have to say, I love having it. I love looking at it. There's something about Louis Vuitton monogram with small leather goods in lieu of other items, in lieu of just having a notebook. I don't know, it just takes the day up several notches. I love having this. I said before, I don't tend to use it as an agenda. I use it more as notes, and I bought note paper for it because that's mainly what I use it for. So I write down like my video ideas on here. Also, if I have meetings for my daughter's school, I put all of that in here, and I absolutely love it. Whenever my daughter sees me pull this out, she goes and she grabs her coloring books and her crayons and always says it's homework time, and it's just the cutest thing on earth. So I don't know if that's the reason why I really enjoy this, but I genuinely love this agenda. I think that it was one of my best purchases, and it was an early 2021 purchase. Now, I will spare you showing them to you, but my Gucci slides in the black and the white are also some of my best purchases of 2021. For me, the best purchases are that which I wear the most. If I've gotten my money's worth, then I feel like it is a best purchase. It's not just liking it, is how much wear do I get out of these items. And even the two that I've mentioned, I've used it regularly. It made my productivity better, my agenda, and my Gucci slides is something that I wear every single day. That remains to be true. And again, I bought the black and the white ones for 2021. So definitely some of my best purchases of 2021. This is something that I did not unbox, but I did purchase this in the summer, and I purchased this when I purchased my white Gucci sandals, and I actually bought this in store. I use this a lot, and something that I want to say is I do not like bucket hats at all, but what I realized with this piece, I've always bought like sun hats, and I never wear them. I just don't think that they match my personality at all. And so I have sun hats, but I just don't gravitate towards wearing them. And this I wore so much to the beach, and it ended up being like my sun hat for the beach, and it got so much wear during the summer, and it's something that I'm going to revisit again during the summer this year. And I wore it, and my daughter wore it. I only wore it when we were at the beach. If we went to the pier to have dinner after, I would take it off. I just really use it as sun protection and really big sunglasses. But yeah, I'm completely on board with the bucket hat now, and I would love to add additional ones from different fashion houses, but this one is so good. I just absolutely love it. Next on my best list for 2021 are my Tiffany chain rings. Yes, I've talked about these to death, and they really are amongst my best purchases because I purchased them and immediately wore them. They have been on my hands since the day I purchased them. So for me, that's definitely a best case scenario. So definitely one of my best purchases, not even of 2021, but of all time. 100%. Next from Chanel, I did not do a lot of Chanel handbags during 2021. I purchased this, and I purchased the beige Vanity, which I also have, but I would say that this I would classify as a best purchase because I wore this one so much more than the beige one. I wore my beige one, but I wore this one like on repeat because it was so small, perfect for a walk. I would take it in like my beach bag. I wore this so much and I really enjoyed packing it for you guys. So definitely best purchase of 2021. Sometimes I realize more and more with luxury that I don't need like a whole bag for like the year. Sometimes just a little Chanel here sprinkled throughout the year just makes the year just a little bit more pleasant. And if I wear things repeatedly, it makes the year so much better. And this one was definitely a best of for sure. I love this piece way more than I even anticipated loving it. Next, my bum bag, which shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. I have seriously loved and wore this piece so much. I think that to own it is to understand how great this bag is. It's amazing. I absolutely love it. And it is the best, one of my best purchases of 2021. And again, one of my best purchases ever. I wore this bag a ton and it was just eye-opening, honestly, when I bought this. How much I gravitate towards canvas. As much as Louis Vuitton sometimes upsets me and stuff, I realize how carefree monogram is and how easy it is to style and just how good it is at making an outfit look amazing. So this is such a great bag and I'm so glad that I scored it in 2021. Next item in best is my Balenciaga cardigan. I know that this might be hard to believe for a lot of people, but I cannot believe how much wear I got out of this. And I even wore this during the summer. At the beginning of summer, you know, when the water is still cold and there's like a cold breeze coming in from the ocean, I was freezing one day and when we went to the beach. So the next day I took this and it was perfect even at the beach. So every time that we went to the beach, this is the sweater that I brought with me because it was just that perfect. And so if we went to have dinner later on, then also it gets kind of chilly, you know, by the beach. So this was something that I also wore and took with me every single time that I went to the beach. I did not care. I literally don't care if I look like a Polaroid picture and that I just wore this on repeat. Like I said, I wore my Gucci hat too. I never wore them together. I just absolutely love this sweater. And then it was just so amazing. I could not believe how cold it got here this year. I don't think that we've ever been that cold. It's been like several years since we've experienced like actual winter weather here in Southern California. And this was absolutely perfect. It is perfect in lieu of a coat. When you live in a warmer climate, this was 100% literally eye-opening. I've talked about not needing coats. I'm all about the cardigan now. I want to add additional cardigans to my collection. I am literally obsessed with cardigans now because of this piece over here. So I love it. I don't care if I don't really care what anybody thinks, like, oh, it's just right now. I think the color combination is kind of permanent. So I'm not worried about like trends or anything like that. I think it's really, really beautiful and I love it. Items that I also wore on repeat were my Chanel scrunchie because here at home, that is what I wear. And it was really funny because I wasn't wearing them. And I was talking to a friend and she said, but you know, aren't you wearing your scrunchie? And I was like, no, I wasn't. And I swear the moment that she said that, I never took off the scrunchies from my head. I wore them all of the time. I have worn it so much that I have misplaced the pink one. I know it's somewhere. It's happened to me before because it kind of falls like in the middle of the night, or it's somewhere. I know that it's somewhere. But yeah, I love these. I am a 100% lover of luxury scrunchies. I know they're not for everybody, but again, it's one of those things that unless you have it, you know what I mean? Like if you are washing your face and you want to put your hair up, or like, why would you not do it with a Chanel scrunchie? It's so absurd. It is so absurd. But like I said, because I love Chanel, because I love all of these things, I love to infuse them into like all parts of my life. It's not just, you know, like a handbag and stuff like that. It's like, where else can I throw in a little Chanel? So that is the way that I look at it. And that's why I think that these are some of the best purchases that I've made. And I would actually add additional scrunchies as well. Next is a recent purchase, and that is my Gucci chain ring, which was on my wish list, which I talked about in my what I got for Christmas, and then I made a video discussing it. But you know, when you buy something really good, like I personally cannot shut up about it. So you can see that in my videos because I tend to literally talk about things over and over again. When they're really good, I think that that's what you do. It's not like move on to the next thing. It's just, if it's really good, you're going to keep talking about it because it's so good. Like I promise. And I purchased this beginning of December and it has not left my finger. It has been just an amazing purchase. Cost per wear, amazing on it. And I'm thrilled that I added it. Next on that list is going to be my Burberry cardigan. I love this cardigan as well. It was kind of bouncing off of the Balenciaga cardigan. I was just like, I need it. I need cardigans and I'm just going to keep adding them, but this one was really good. It's one of those things that when you like wear it, you're just like, this is what I've been missing my whole life. I think it's something that would go with most people's wardrobe. It's something that I'm going to have for many years. I have gotten a ton of wear out of it already. I tend to take my husband to work in the middle of the night. And I'm not used to wearing coats because we don't have coat weather. And as soon as I get to the car and you turn on the heater, like I'm hot, like I can't have a big giant coat, but a cardigan, a good quality cardigan will get me from like the door to the car, you know what I mean? And running out of the car like really, really quickly, those kinds of errands, because then I'm like sweltering in this coat, you know? So this has been another amazing purchase. And like I said, I'm a serious cardigan convert now. Moving on to the worst of 2021, I have 3 items on this list, starting off with what I assume will not be a big surprise to most of you, and that is the Chanel phone case. What a travesty that was. I am kind of sad about the fact that I did end up selling it, you guys. I just didn't want to have to deal with the glazing issue, and it started to seem like I mentioned to you guys that it was something that was going to happen again. So I did just decide to sell it, and I recouped the majority of my money, which is always a good thing. And I'm glad that I did it when I did, and I used that to fund some of my Christmas purchases because I rather have something that it's not falling apart. Because I also ended up finding that chain from Amazon that's like the Coco chain. It helped me kind of part ways with it. I was like, then why do I need it now? I don't need it anymore. So yeah, that was among the worst. Even though it is in the worst, if Chanel makes another phone case and they stitch it instead of glazing it, I'm still open to buying it again, because I really do think that it's a worthwhile purchase for myself and my lifestyle. And it's something that did get wear, you know, on a regular basis, because that's where my phone lived. But something that I wanted to touch on too, on the tweed, and I heard someone else say this, that like their Chanel tweed started to look dingy, but they weren't sure if that was just in their mind. It does. It 100% starts to look dingy. And you could see the difference mine had like a little pouch for your card. So when you open it, you could see the difference, like right in the lip, from how it started out looking to how it looks now. And it just picks up everything. So I'm definitely glad that I do not own any Chanel tweed in my life. As much as I think it's beautiful, it's not something that I can stomach. Because I don't know, I just can't. I think it's lovely, but no, I don't have the courage to like watch Chanel start to look like that. So many different layers to why that piece was the worst purchase of 2021, but thankfully I'm rid of it. It's out of my life now. Going back to things that I never unboxed on here, I did purchase these Golden Goose sneakers. And as you can see, they still have the tag. I have not worn them. Does that mean that I'm not going to wear them? No, I actually do think that this is something that will eventually get worn, but I have to put them on the worst list because I haven't worn them yet. I did wear my Hermes sneakers a handful of times. I know I'm not a sneakerhead, so that could be part of the reason, but because they did not get worn even once, I'm putting them in the worst category, sadly. But they're so cute, and I can't wait to actually start to wear them. Lastly, on my worst is this scrunchie. I love it. I just feel that I would love it more if I would have just gone without this, which is what I was looking for. I was obsessed with the bow part of it, but I totally had it completely wrong. I should have just gotten the scrunchy version. And I know that they're making them now, but the version that they're making now is all black leather and just a CC on it. And the version that they had when this one came out, it had the chain detail on the scrunchie, and it hurts my heart that I don't have that one, because I do think that I would wear it. Now, I don't even know how to explain it, but let me put it on. It doesn't look bad at all, right? Like I don't mind it at all. And this is, you know, and then the detail is right there. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. Like even the way that it is right there, I think it's cute. And I actually like that the CC is hidden and there's just some chain detail. Maybe I'm gonna have to reevaluate, because I actually do like this. Because part of the issue was I always thought that if I put my hair back, it's such a silly thing. It's because the CC isn't showing, right? And I guess that's better. It's literally better than the CC isn't showing. This is the other way that I can do it. But I feel like I'm too grown to have this here on this side. But again, I think I just need to play with it a little bit more. Seeing it on camera, I think, is kind of changing my mind a little bit. So maybe not the worst, maybe not the best. We'll see. We'll put this in the we'll see category. Let me know what you think. I actually did like it this way. Let's just leave it on. That is it, you guys. That is the best and worst of 2021. 2021 was an amazing luxury year. I did have a lot of items that I bought and wore a lot, and you can't beat that, in my opinion. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.